Good morning, someone. I am in my Father's house, and I am reading while I have on a shirt. And on the shirt are the words, "The Bible is the history book." And in front of me, I have a Bible. In the Bible, this is the book for me. I have found Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And like most other books, there are pages and they are numbered. And the page numbers in my history book are not on the bottom of the page. They're on the top. So at the top of these pages in my Bible, numbers are there. And I am looking in the 1400s today. That means I'm in the 1400s, on page 1451 in my history book, the Bible. I have, and I'm going to read to you. Jesus is the main speaker in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you have a history book, it's not going to be hard to learn that. Jesus is doing a lot of speaking in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And I'm on page 1451. And I happen to have one of the Bibles in which there are black letters and red letters. So I can read black letters as well as red letters. And on page 1451 in my history book, Jesus speaks because the words are in red, where he had said, "May no one ever eat from you again." That's what Jesus had said to a tree, because he was hungry. And he had come to the tree looking for something to eat. And that's what Jesus did. He said, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples were listening. I wish the disciples today were listening. I really do. I mean, I don't know a whole lot, but I know what's on page 1451 because I'm looking at it. And he went from there into the temple, and he began to cast out those who were buying and selling in the temple, and overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who were selling doves. In other words, they were selling doves. doves were important. They could make you money. And they were selling the doves. And Jesus would not permit anyone to carry goods through the temple or something. It just says goods in my Bible here. And he began to teach. Now, if you wanted to learn something from somebody, you need to learn something from Jesus. Is it not written, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations, but you have made it a den, a robber's den. Jesus is not through speaking. He has just begun. He's caused quite a scene. He's turned over some tables. And the chief priests and the scribes heard this, and they began to seek a way to destroy him. And all the multitudes were astonished at his teaching. And whenever evening came, they would go out of the city. And as they were passing by in the morning, they saw the fig tree. The fig tree is not looking like it did the day before. And the fig tree withered from the roots up. And being reminded, Peter said to him, Rabbi, behold, the fig tree which you cursed has withered. Peter is obviously, heard Jesus the day before. And now Peter is talking to Jesus. And Peter is going to get some information from Jesus that I would like to pass on to you. It's right here on 1451. Jesus simply said, have faith in God. Truly, I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says is going to happen, it shall be granted him. Therefore, I say to you, all things for which you pray and ask, believe that you have received them, and they shall be granted you. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father who is in heaven may forgive you your transgressions. And there are a few more words in red right here where it says, if you do not forgive, neither will your Father who is in heaven forgive your transgressions. Do you think that Jesus was wasting his breath? I sure hope not. Just as I hope I have not wasted my breath this morning reading this. There is one more in red, where Jesus asked you a question on page 1451. And if anybody turns to Mark chapter 11 and reads it, they can find out what Jesus said. Thank you. And now I have read from 1451 for someone to see and hear. Yes, I have. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.